The English Football Association drafted the rules of football as we know it in 1863. However, the rules have since undergone changes. Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today we'll be looking at footballers who forced rule changes. Yeah, you heard it right. Jimmy Thorpe. One such footballer was Jimmy Thorpe, who tragically died due to an injury sustained during a match in 1936. Thorpe was a talented goalkeeper who made his debut for Sunderland at the age of 17 and established himself as the club's first-choice goalkeeper by the age of 19. Sunderland won the First Division title during the 1935-36 campaign, but Thorpe did not live to see them lift the trophy. During a match against Chelsea in February of that year, Thorpe was kicked in the head and chest by opposition players after he picked up a back pass. In those days, it was common for players to challenge for the ball even if a goalkeeper had his hands on it. Thorpe completed the match but collapsed at home later that night. He died in the hospital 4 days later due to his injuries. Following the incident, the laws were changed and players were no longer allowed to raise their feet to a goalkeeper who had the ball under his control. Thorpe's tragic death led to a change in football rules, which has made the sport safer for goalkeepers. In 2011, during a match between Chelsea and Sunderland on the 75th anniversary of Thorpe's death, Petr Cech and Craig Gordon wore black armbands to pay their respects. Peter Schmeichel. The introduction of the back pass law changed football forever. Before its implementation, goalkeepers were allowed to pick up the ball when it was passed back to them by a teammate. Often used as a time-wasting tactic, Graham Souness, while playing for Rangers in 1987, famously kicked the ball back to the keeper from inside the opposition half, a trick he probably learned during Liverpool's heyday in the 1980s, where they used to do the same with Bruce Grobbelaar. The final straw came at Euro 92 when Denmark stunned the continent to win the trophy. A key part of their approach was getting Peter Schmeichel to hold on to the ball for as long as possible. FIFA abolished the back pass law after the tournament, causing havoc early on as goalkeepers had not been trained to play with their feet. The result was a comedy of errors. For a long time, FIFA and UEFA resisted calls to introduce technology into the game. They believed it would complicate what they saw as a simple game, and FIFA president Sepp Blatter even said the technology would kill the passion for football. UEFA acknowledged that more needed to be done, but their president, Michel Platini, did not want cameras or sensors either. He brought in extra officials behind the goals, hoping that would solve the problem. During the 2010 World Cup, the clamor for goal line technology became too loud to ignore. Frank Lampard. In a match against Germany, England found themselves 2-1 down when Frank Lampard's shot hit the underside of the bar and bounced down over the goal line. Unfortunately, neither the referee nor the linesman had a clear view, and the goal wasn't given. England went on to lose 4-1, and despite Germany being the better team, England felt hard done by. The controversy forced FIFA to act, and Sepp Blatter admitted that it would be nonsense not to reopen the file on technology at the International FA Board meeting in July. Goal line technology was trialed at the 2012 Club World Cup before being introduced in the Premier League for the 2013 season. Bill McCracken. The offside rule is a vital part of football, preventing goal hanging and encouraging better football. Without it, teams would just boot the ball long to a center forward standing next to the opposition's goal. The offside rule has been tweaked several times throughout the game's history. Before 1925, a striker had to have 3 players between him and the goal when receiving the ball, but this changed thanks to Bill McCracken, a Newcastle defender who was a master of the offside trap. His defensive ability helped Newcastle win 3 league titles and an FA Cup. Although the authorities had considered changing the offside rule before, it was only because of McCracken's mastery of the offside trap that they felt compelled to act. And today, a striker needs 2 players between him and the goal when receiving the ball. Jean-Marc Bosman. Jean-Marc Bosman is another well-known figure in football history. When his contract with RFC Liège expired in 1990, he wanted to join Dunkirk, but Liège demanded a transfer fee, which Dunkirk refused to pay. As a result, the transfer was cancelled and Bosman's wages were cut by 70%. This was clearly unfair, although it was within the rules at the time. Bosman took legal action, and his case eventually went to the European Court of Justice. The court ruled in his favor, and the Bosman ruling changed the landscape of European football by allowing players to move freely at the end of their contracts without the need for a transfer fee. Football is a matter of debate, but there have been several significant changes that have shaped the game. One of these changes was the introduction of the back pass law, which prohibited goalkeepers from picking up the ball when it was passed back to them by a teammate. This rule was implemented after the 1992 Euro tournament, where Denmark's success was attributed to their goalkeeper's ability to hold on to the ball for as long as possible. Another significant rule change was the introduction of goal line technology, which was trialed at the 2012 Club World Cup before being introduced in the Premier League in the 2013 season. This change was made after a controversial incident at the 2010 World Cup where England's goal was not given despite the ball crossing the line. The offside rule has also undergone several tweaks throughout football's history, and one of the most significant changes was made in 1925 when it was reduced from 3 players to 2. This change was largely due to defensive mastery of Newcastle's Bill McCracken, who was a master of the offside trap. So that's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so that you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section down below. Stay tuned, and we'll catch you in the next video.